Hey, what's up? It's Bon, and I'm here to talk about Mass Effect. And what I really want to get into today is how every theory and bit of speculation I had feels debunked and pointless now, and I have no idea what's coming in the future for the game, and everything's meaningless. So let's get into it. Much to the chagrin of some of our favorite Discord servers, I see you out there. I am probably going to ramble a bit on this one, but it's because I feel like we know even less now than we did before the 2023 N7 day, where in previous years, I felt like after the 2020, the Game Awards trailer, the 2021 poster, the 2022 little teaser, and the audio with Liara, and some of the concept art that was kind of hidden, I guess, in the blog. I felt like after all of those, we were slowly starting to be able to get a better idea of what this next game was going to be, at least to a point. And then 2023 happens, and I don't know. I have no idea. Because now we're looking at, some more concrete potential proof that maybe this game's taken place many hundreds of years after 3. But then there's a lot of things that kind of insinuate it's not. And then we have this bar scene that's, hidden in the middle of this poster that we got. But now people are seeing references in there that are starting to make me wonder if that whole scene is just a tribute or a reference and isn't supposed to be capturing the moment or the time frame this game's going to take place in, but instead is basically just like, hey, look at these things that you've seen before. Wink. Before I was really settling in on these theories of like, okay, so this next game looks like it's going to take place, shortly after Mass Effect 3. We saw the dates on that video last year of this surveillance kind of footage. We saw concept art and things that were showing like shuttles and, the space cars and stuff. That looked exactly the same as the trilogy, and you would think after many hundreds of years that kind of technology would have become more advanced and would have changed, and it would look more futuristic. Even the image we got in 2021, that video thing, surveillance footage, whatever it was, looked, the ships and everything in it looked trilogy era, right? It didn't look like that was from a world that had advanced many hundreds of years, especially with the benefit of all of the, millions of years of technology and developments the various players in the Milky Way would get from all these Dead Reapers everywhere, right? We thought that maybe the Destroy ending had been made canon by the 2020 trailer, as well as some other things that we've seen. I over the last couple of years, I've been making all these theories, and obviously it's all speculation. Obviously we don't know anything, and I think this year proved that more than ever. But I think what is weird about it is that after this N7 day, not only do I feel like none of those previous speculation and theories have necessarily been strengthened, I think that for me, they've all been wiped out. Call Elizabeth, who's another Mass Effect focused YouTuber, posed a question on her social media saying, hey, now that things have settled down, I'm paraphrasing, what are your theories? I love hearing, people have been messaging me their theories. What are yours? And my best response is, I don't have any. I'm done. I'm all the ones I had before, I feel like are defunct, and I can't make any more because I think we have more questions now than we did before. Which, if that was their goal, and it probably is to a point, this game, the whole other situation of how far away this game is, One, they may not have all the details nailed down. I think they have more than you think, but who knows? Two, we don't need to know anything. Their goal is for us to keep thinking about this game, right? The whole point of these teases of the next game and these in 7-day, celebrations, and eventually probably during other parts of the year, is to just keep us talking, to save their mind share. I think if they want to keep our mind share for the next 6 years, which is one of the rumored lengths of time before we get the game, that might be challenging, but we can debate that another day. And I just it's a thing where it kind of doesn't matter. It is the final point, is that it's fun to speculate and guess and analyze and do all of that. But I can accept that we just don't know. I don't love it. I love knowing things, and I hate not knowing things. And this comes into that category pretty heavily. But I feel weird where I felt like over multiple years, we couldn't be sure of anything, but I felt like over a few years we were able to start implying some stuff. My favorite phrase was we were able to do educated speculation, right? Obviously nothing guaranteed, nothing set in stone, but I think you were able to look at things that we've been teased and shown, and from a logical standpoint or point of view, be able to say okay, this is what makes sense if that's the case, right? And for me, all of that's been thrown out the door for me. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. If they want to keep us curious and confused, that's what's happening. So it's a bummer to see some people getting maybe a little too into it. I've seen people on the Mass Effect subreddit and such basically saying things like, they need to tell us more now. I'm concerned. My favorite one is, I'm concerned about the next game after these developments. And it can come from two places. It can be concerned trolling, where the person doesn't really care. They actually hope it all goes bad, but they're saying that they're concerned because that's a more palatable thing to get engagement from. Or it's people who are legitimately concerned about the next game and just don't. It's okay. If the game never comes out, your life will be fine. I really want it to come out. I want it to be successful. I want BioWare to get their groove back. I promise. But you and I can't do anything to help or hurt this project. So whether it's going to come out in 2029 or 2026, whether it takes place right after Mass Effect 3 and we see all of our old friends again, or it takes place many, many hundreds of years later and we have to get used to a new cast of characters, none of that stuff, you shouldn't be concerned about it right now. Please don't do that to yourself. Coming from someone who has probably some anxiety problems that are definitely not treated or handled, it's not worth it. There's so many other things to worry about in the world. Let this be fun. Do the speculation. Come up with your own ideas. It's something I've said a lot, especially when I'm faced with people's theories about this game and the next game that I hate. The simple fact is, their opinion is as good as mine. I think mine has more backing, potentially, but that's a personal bias, right? But none of it's worth worrying about. So let's buckle in. Let's wait and see if we maybe get some hints or innuendos or whatever from Gamble about release dates and all of the other stuff. If we get more confirmation that we have just missed things still and that we actually haven't seen everything still. Let's just have fun with it. Make it fun. That's what it should be. Video games should be fun, even if it's speculating about them 6 years before they come out. So that's what I have to spiel on today. Thank you so much for listening. If you like Mass Effect, if you want updates on news and speculation and all of that, be sure to subscribe to this channel. I also cover other gaming news and games I'm passionate about, so be here for that as well. Like the video if you did, subscribe down below, comment down below, and even if it's just to say hello. I am Bon Diesel all over the internet, including over on Twitch, where I multi-stream there and here a couple times a month, and we can chat about things. And I have 2 podcasts. I have a weekly game news podcast called The Bonfire, and a monthly-ish Mass Effect Hypecast podcast, where I talk about the next game, and I'll have multiple episodes of that coming soon with interviews with other content creators and maybe some of my own ideas. That's all I have for this one, so until next time.